Because around December 1st, they're trying to do what you should be doing as a business person. Cleaning up. Do I have all of my songs registered? Do I have all of my lyrics typed out? Have I submitted all of those for publishing? Do I have my rollout for next year? What are my numbers? Did I get my Spotify wrapped up? Have I gotten my Apple wrapped up? Have I gotten my Bands in Town wrapped up? Have I looked at my SoundCloud numbers? Have I looked at my YouTube creator numbers? This is the time where you start to gather all those things on top of still having to do your regular work, on top of still having to make time for the family, on top of still having to go find gifts. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
And if you don't plan for this,
and don't forget shooting
season,
content.
That's the beauty.
Lord,
of it,
don't forget about
right?
the content.
Man, the content part of it during this time of the year is the easiest to make. Jingle bells, you paid for fake streams. Got your ass, so now you're banned and you gotta pay for more. Hey. Oh.
Hey.
Can I touch your balls?
I'm gonna shake my balls on camera. Am I allowed to do that on YouTube?
That. Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Hey, YouTube.
Can we say balls?
I'm gonna shake my balls on
Yeah,
camera.
because we're talking about Christmas balls.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're talking jingle balls.
Yes.
Jingle balls?
Yeah, jingle bells. Happy holidays, man.
So how many trees do you have at your house? I
have
need to know
5.
this.
You guys know I hate Christmas. Oh, I hate dressing up at Christmas. I'm sorry. I'm being a Grinch. I'm being him.
You're being him. Yeah.
Christmas is in 5 days, Rory. People watching this, Christmas is in 5 days, and you still haven't like brightened up. Do you need a hug? Is this in a moment for intervention? You can't get mad. Listen,
Want
bro.
to touch his balls?
You're the one that you're thinking with your other head, then put you in this predicament where you got to walk around with 5 trees.
You're right.
Don't be Grinched at the Christmas. It ain't the holiday season, man.
There's
I know
too
your
many
kids
trees
love
in
the
my house.
holidays, bro.
They love the holidays.
Of course.
It's
and your old
expensive.
lady, she loves
It's
the holidays.
expensive for me.
Yeah, it's very expensive
It's
for you.
expensive for
That's
everybody. It's expensive for everybody. But you don't be a Grinch. I love the holiday season, man.
You
I
do.
love y'all.
humbug.
You do.
Yeah,
You love.
listen,
We
I
love you
Christmas
too.
harder than you.
Definitely.
I definitely Christmas harder than most people I know.
I think you do too.
Yeah, I do holidays. I'm big on holidays. I like
will
Thanksgiving and stuff like that.
It's the only time you don't work.
I work.
Oh, you do
I was
work
gonna
for
say, yeah,
Christmas? Okay.
Yes, I work on
I
Christmas
work,
Day.
I work. I work every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna say I work every day. There, I do find some days to take off, but they're usually it's like a random Thursday in like April. Or
Random.
some craziness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't pushed myself to the limit for the last 50 days. Now it's time to take a break for 24 hours. So
Good for you.
I do some of those every now and then. But holidays, I do more work leading up to the holidays. Like,
agree.
for example, getting ready to, if anybody's watching this, hopefully they would have gotten the email from Vidya that would have told them when they needed to have their music uploaded by,
Right.
so it could release by. But
Correct.
if you know that these are the times of year when people start to leave or take vacation or some opportunities present themselves, kind of getting ready to go into the weekends or into the holidays, is a lot more stressful because you have to do so much more. You have to do your regular work, then you have to do your planning for the work that you want to do during the holidays.
Right.
And then if you could knock out some of that work now, it's in your best interest because
Right.
chances are you're going to have to do some things during the holidays to make some extra money, or you're gonna have to do some extra hustling, or you're gonna have to close out some things because the end of the year is 6 days after Christmas.
And if you were smart, you would have prepped this way before, like soon as summer ended. Actually,
Yeah.
Right.
I prep
So you
for the
get
end of
ahead
the year.
curve.
Soon as summer's over, I got to prep for the
Yeah.
end of the year.
If you guys ever need a cheat on how to plan for the year, your kids' report cards.
Yeah,
The first 9 weeks
9
is gonna
weeks.
be around Christmas time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The first calendar. So every time that your kids are getting ready to take a break, that should be your planning for your indicator to plan for the next
was
holiday
a
or
good
the next
nugget.
little solstice, if you will. Because at the end of the day, for those guys that are parents, or for those of us that have brothers or sisters or siblings or grandparents, that structure there, we're always having to build around that. You know, if you'll notice during the summer times, the morning commutes aren't as hectic as they are during non-summer months, right?
Correct.
Because there's more people. Their parents are getting their kids to school. School buses are on the road and all kinds of other different stuff, speed limit laws and all kinds of different things. So all of those things have to factor in. Same applies to the music. Same applies to the music. If there's people that are not there in this particular building and you're going to want to reach out to them, or you have a problem, you best have that problem identified and a solution for that problem 20 days before December 1st. Because around December 1st, they're trying to do what you should be doing as a business person, cleaning up.
Right.
Do I have all of my songs registered? Do I have all of my lyrics typed out? Have I submitted all of those for publishing? Do I have my rollout for next year? What are my numbers? Did I get my Spotify wrapped up? Have I gotten my Apple wrapped up? Have I gotten my Bands in Town wrapped up? Have I looked at my SoundCloud numbers? Have I looked at my YouTube creator numbers? This is the time where you start to gather all those things on top of still having to do your regular work, on top of still having to make time for the family, on top of still having to go find gifts. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
And if you don't plan for this,
And don't forget
this
shooting
season,
content.
That's the beauty
Lord,
of it.
don't forget about
right?
the content.
Man, the content part of it during this time of the year is the easiest to make.
Yeah.
Because you're always doing something.
You're doing something.
You're wrapping
Yeah.
the gifts. You're going to go buy it. You're complaining about something. You're testing out a new product. You're talking about family.
You're getting presents. You're
just
giving
before
presents.
the camera was
Yeah.
rolling, we seen a family video where somebody having to get carried up the hill.
Yeah.
That's content.
Talking about my drunk uncle.
Come on, man. Listen, all of these different moments in our lives right now, the problem is that for those of us that aren't artists, it's a foreign concept to always pull out the camera and record something.
Right.
But for those of us that are creators, pulling out your camera and setting it up somewhere and turning it on should be just as common as going to get something to drink when you're thirsty.
I agree with
there
that.
should be no, if you want to dress it up, if you want to have a presentation, if you want to have more to it, by all means. But capturing content at your cousin's house, playing board games, wrapping gifts, the 12 days of Christmas, your style. What are your 12 days of Christmas? Do your 12 days of Christmas include music? Do they include a different challenge? You know, what are you doing within your community? We ask how many people build your community. Are you offering any type of incentives to them, giveaways? We've got clients that have been giving away 20% off on their merchandise. The end of the year is coming up. They're getting ready to do 30% off on their merchandise. But none of that stuff can happen from one day to the next.
This is also a good time to sell merch as well because
time.
it's a ultimate easy present to give to somebody.
Like this cheat code coffee mug that's available on our website right now for purchase in white and black. Listen. Listen, get you a cheat code coffee mug. We got cup, we got shirts,
Pencil cup.
we got everything. We got hoodies, we got dog clothes coming, we got mouse pads, we got sheets, blankets, comforters, shoes, lip balm. We got everything coming.
Can we fix the water bottles?
Yeah,
We're
we're
having
gonna
water
fix the
bottle
water
issues.
bottles.
Thank
What do
you.
you guys think about people saying the industry shut down? I know we said this last year's episode around the same time. Does the industry shut down?
According to video,
Well, the major label industry shuts down. The indie world never shuts down, ever.
if you want to make things happen, it is more difficult during the month of December than it is in any other month of the year. And that's because while the cat's away, the mice will play. And although some of the lower level people or lower position people on the totem pole may still be coming into work, that's why you guys are all of a sudden getting these offers to come to New York and tour all the offices during December when there's nobody there. Oh yeah, come to New York, man. Come stand next to the logo. Come double XL. We're gonna take you to all the labels. There's nobody there. They're all on vacation. And you're just driving around New York City in negative 20-degree weather, getting finessed out of your $15,000 travel bag. There's nobody there. Nobody cares. Nobody's gonna see it. Nobody's gonna report it. But hey, if that's what you want to do,
Don't
by all
forget to
means,
hold a
bro.
stack of money by your ear.
Yeah, the this or the this one. That's my
Favorite.
That's the
That's the
fan.
fan.
The fan.
Fan.
Yeah, that
That's
one.
my
That's the
favorite.
real
It's
cool
actually
one.
the money fan.
Yeah, the money
Yeah, that's
fan.
my
So,
favorite.
by all means, continue to do those things. But for those people that want to plan, and for those people that don't want to fall victim to the banana in the tailpipe, work around December. You're a human being. December is important. Again, we've stated all the facts. The last 2 weeks of the year, kids are on vacation. So if you're a parent or you have kids that are in school, you know that you now have to adjust your schedule. You have to, the rent is due 6 days after Christmas. And it's due 24 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
So the month of December just has so many different moving pieces for every adult.
In January.
And then you throw
yeah.
all of the entertainment
Yeah.
pieces on top of that where because I have money, I can make it happen right now. This is probably one of the only industries where you can do that, bro.
I will also say to answer the question that I asked, I would say the industry does not shut down. People in the labels are just not in the offices. They're working remotely. Everyone's working from home. If you have built up vacation, the big dogs are taking vacation. But for the most part, nobody's taking the day off. It's too much music coming out.
I think even the big dogs, like the level of guys that I deal with, they're catching up on stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we're so busy throughout the year that we have a list of stuff that we would like to get to when we have time.
Yeah.
And that's what Christmas vacation is. If you're not traveling with your family, it's a time where your phone isn't ringing.
Yeah.
So you can actually get work done without being interrupted. It's kind of a blessing.
Yeah. You know, the industry has changed so much in the last 2 years, let alone in the last 10 years.
Changes all the time too.
Yeah.
And with people being able
It's
to work
fluid.
remote and
It's fluid.
phones and tablets and computers
It's like water.
and all of the stuff that you're hoping to accomplish, you don't need somebody to be sitting in the office to have access to the dashboard to be able to correct an issue.
Yeah.
But you do need to have a relationship with that person that has that computer at home, that has access to the dashboard to be able to help you. 99.9% of the people that are watching this will not have that relationship.
Correct.
So
how
they're
do they forge that relationship? How could they?
I think with the same way that we tell artists that they have to be consistent with their music, they have to be consistent in building their relationships.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people in the industry. Wendy, I probably knew it and had met Wendy and had been around Wendy for about 10 years before I tried to initiate a friendship with Wendy, because it was a mutual respect. And once I had established myself a person of value, in my opinion, and I was able to bring something to the table to enhance whatever she had going on, then I felt that was the proper time for me to want to initiate a friendship. Because if I had done so before, then it could have been seen as what you want.
Didn't you work TMI Boys?
Yeah.
It was 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years.
And I was going to say,
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Wendy hired me for something, and I still waited until I did a great job
Right.
of what she hired me for, to then introduce myself on a personal level. Like,
Right.
hey, look, I know you hired me for
true.
this. I want to work for you, but I want to be your friend. She was looking at me like, what? I was like, no, like, I just want
I
to
have no
learn.
friends.
I just wanna, and it's hard to say I want to be your friend to a grown adult, because adults
Right.
usually, we already have our friends. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah, but your friends, new people,
was a
what's your
time-
angle?
No new friends.
it was
What's your
also
angle?
a time in thing too that I had to put in with Wendy Day. I literally had to just be around multiple times and then prove that, hey, I think
You're
you
not
can
gonna
trust me.
leave.
Do you trust me?
Yeah,
You're gonna leave.
and
You're
that's-
gonna
and that's
fizzle
the
yourself
way-
out.
That's the way you build friendships in this industry. Because I'm kind of joking, but I'm not. I have no friends. Like
Right.
if you weren't good at what you do, or if you weren't good at what you do, I would fire you on the spot.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Because these are my clients, and
Yeah.
that
My livelihood.
it's my not only my livelihood, but they're my hearts. Like I
Right.
get really attached to my clients.
Yeah.
I agree.
And that's kind of why I've adapted the mantra that I have and the mentality that I have, and that's why I get as upset at people as I do.
Yeah.
Because it's that way for me times 50.
Yeah.
Because I have to look at Bigger Rankin. I have to look at my business partner, Tony G. I have to look at Tony Neo. I have to look at Vertigo. I have to look at these guys in the face. And these guys are the heads of organizations.
Yeah.
And if these guys are going to sit there and proclaim to be the baddest of what the they are, and they have me around, then I have to do what I got to do to be the baddest so that they can remain to be the,
Right.
It's, the guilt by association. And I just wish more people took it as serious as that. And,
So
and
that
unfortunately, they
that
don't.
gives me a quick. First of all, it's weirding me out how much you look like Santa Claus. Just saying,
Yeah, it's
just
the
putting
beard,
that out
bro.
there.
It's the
Just
beard.
putting that out
Yeah,
there.
it's all the way. Yeah, it's all the
Cleaned
way
it
there.
up.
But
Shout out to Miss Claus.
Can we talk, Mrs. Claus?
Mrs. Claus.
You made an
Mrs.
honest
Claus,
woman of
yes.
it.
Mrs. Claus.
So, do you guys see the divide in the music industry between like our generation and the younger generation?
I think it's called, are you ready for it? I just
Yeah.
learned the word yesterday.
Please.
My Mrs. Claus
Claus.
will be proud of me. This is the phygital generation.
I like
Explain.
that.
Physical, digital. This is where
Phygital, with
the
a PH.
consumption, where the consumption of content is a mix. It skirts the boundaries of physical and digital to where an artist, The Weeknd doing a Fortnite concert, or Eminem doing a Fortnite concert, Travis Scott doing a Fortnite concert, then doing the Travis Scott Festival,
Right.
selling the Cactus Jack shoes, and then selling the Cactus Jack NFT shoes. And then it's never been able to be explained because it's never happened.
It's
at a
never
time like
happened
this.
before,
It's
right.
Never
We have no
before in the
precedent.
history of time
Yeah, we have no
has
precedent.
anything ever happened like this on any level. And the fact that we're able to see it evolve in front of us and grow so fast is what makes a lot of people be like, it's magic, or it's voodoo, or it's cursed, or it's fake, it's this, that, and the third.
You know what? You're right. And I just think about how mentally tired I am when I go to work. I physically do my job, but then I have to update each of my profiles individually, engage each of my profiles individually. And at the end
a
of the
full-time
day, I'm
job.
like, God, I literally was physically tired and mentally tired at the same time because I did a physical job, and then I did the
mental job.
the digital job. But I was in different places because
Digital.
my Facebook engagement are not the same people on my Instagram who are not the same people on my TikTok.
Right.
Digital.
And when I'm engaging with all these different people, I'm literally tired.
You know, and oftentimes
That shit's
you're
real
engaging.
work.
You're engaging because you're forcing yourself to engage. You're not engaging because it's natural.
Well, it's natural,
You're
but it's
remembering
still
to
tiring.
like these pictures. You're remembering to go like them. So maybe we gotta, and this is where it's okay to spice up our timeline.
Yeah.
If the stuff that's on your timeline you have to remember to like, you shouldn't be following it. Get it out of here.
Yeah.
The stuff on your timeline should be stuff that's pleasant to you. Case in point, okay? Just this morning, I'm always reading something before we come to shows, and I shared it with the group. I was
Well,
super
you're always
excited.
reading something. That's
Just
really
this
what it
morning,
is.
I get an email that says that there's a third-party app provider that you click on this link in bio so that you can get people's music. And this platform had gave one of the most prominent rappers right now was like first on everybody's Spotify Wrapped Up report. Because at some point in time between last year and when this report came out, this person, whoever it was, whoever the consumers were, clicked on a link and gave permission to this platform in order to pre-save or add a song to their library. And whenever you do that, that app tells you, when you read the disclaimer, they're allowed to add or remove stuff from your library, listen to stuff on your behalf, checking. And that's because we're in a cookieless world. And by a cookieless world, I mean no longer are these companies allowed to track you once you leave. That's why now all of these apps have to ask you as soon as you turn your phone on, hey, do you give us permission to track everything that you do with every other app, including this one? You have to say yes or no. Okay?
Or
And it's the
allow or don't allow.
Allow or don't allow. And it's the same principle with all these other different programs, is that they have to find a way to get the information that they need to be able to leverage it so that people can continue to give you more of what you want. Back to what you said, if the stuff on your timeline isn't making you happy, it's not making you like it, it's not making you comment on it, it's not making you share it, get it out of there. Number one, it's screwing up your algorithm. And number two, it's with your mental health, bro. Because you're seeing things that you are engaging with because you're remembering to, not because you want to. And the things that matter to you, you don't have to be reminded of, brother.
Yeah.
The things that you love the most, don't nobody got to tell you about them. So if you're having a hard time with engaging, try changing up some of the people that you follow and some of your followers. Spice that up a little bit.
And what you look at, because I love my Instagram feed. Like my Instagram feed is just full of shit that I care about. It's not useless stuff. But it took me a long time to get it to that point.
Yeah.
And it matters what you share. It matters. I just started posting to stories for the first time in my life 3 weeks ago. And I'm watching now, like, first of all, the people that I'm reaching with my stories, I had no clue, right? I had no clue how it's got bigger reach than my feed.
1,000 times over.
And
I agree
first
with
of all,
that.
I didn't care.
More
You get
people
more
share
engagement.
content in
Absolutely.
via stories and DMs than they
But
do
now
on
my
their timelines.
DMs are like through the roof because
Correct.
people are like applauding or putting smiley faces.
You'll get
or-
more views on
Now
your story
people can
too.
hype
Yes,
up your
I
Insta
have
story.
way more stories.
Did you guys hear that
that's-
feature?
And I just went up 1,000 followers. You know, I don't care about this shit, but I just went up 1,000 followers in the past 3 weeks.
But it's
Like randomly.
going up 1,000 followers in the past 3 weeks is, and you just started using stories in the past 3 weeks.
Yes.
Indicator. This is
Yeah.
a sign that it works if you
Yeah.
work it.
Yes.
So that
Yes.
epiphany for
Yes.
you, or that moment of saying, maybe if I'm tired of doing this, those aha moments only impact if we notice it moving forward.
Exactly. But now my feed looks like my Explorer page because now it's very rare that I don't click on something in my feed because I've built it to be that.
Well, again, you're not an Instagram user. An Instagram user isn't going to follow the feed. An Instagram user is going to open the app and go to
Right.
their following.
Right.
And they're just going to engage with the people they follow that posted.
Right.
You are a social media, a maven, if you will. You're going through and whatever is opening on my timeline, I like it, and then you utilize the features. Don't suggest this anymore. Why am I seeing this ad? It's irrelevant.
Right.
People that do that on their main feed
Right.
are going to have a more catered experience.
I have a
like
way
that.
People that do not do that
curated-
on their feed,
I have a way curated
you're going
experience.
to give you what everybody around you likes.
And now
Thank
it's
you.
enjoyable because it's all positive. I don't really see much negative. I mean, I did when Palestine and Israel were going at it. I saw a lot of negativity, but now
yeah.
Thank you for that,
it's a
Jen.
happy place.
I love social media, man. Social media is a place where you can be social. And if you guys aren't using it to be social and build with family members, friends, and your community, then you're using it for the wrong things. And that's where the problem is. If you take 100 Tylenol, you'll never wake up again. As harmless as Tylenol is, you take 50 of them, you'll never wake up again. Same thing with social media. If you get on there and you start posting all of your personal information and you start doing all of these things, it'll never be the same again. You know? And it's
Agreed.
just, A little bit of moderation goes a long way, and this is something new. That's why there's no books on how to use social media.
Right.
They don't know how to use social media,
And
my
it
boy.
changes so fast.
We got to remember social
Elon
media.
Musk bought Twitter.
But you got to remember,
He
social
still don't
media
know
is
how to use
empty
social media.
without us. If we don't post,
Mark
nothing happens.
Zuckerberg owned Facebook. He still don't know how to use social media. These people, they don't know how to use it still because it's evolving. How could you master something that is growing faster than you can monitor
learn.
it?
Yeah.
Agreed. Because remember, Instagram was just like pictures of outside.
Instagram
And your
Instagram
like
was
scenery.
a way to give an instant message. Hence the word Instagram. College kids had to put together a community class project, and the shit ended up changing the world. But because with access to information comes the power to abuse it.
I
and
never
manipulate
thought,
it.
before we go, I never thought Instagram had, from when it started, I never thought it would be full of content how we see it now. Because it was strictly pictures.
Yeah, it was like my breakfast.
It was your breakfast.
My
it
new
was
car.
outside.
Yeah.
It was
And then Snapchat came
The
in. And by the way,
seasons.
Snapchat is still by far
Naked
categorized.
hookers.
Snapchat is still way over here in positivity and reach and engagement and every
I gotta
other
tap
social
back into
media
my
app is way
Snapchat.
over here.
I turned mine back on. I gotta get back on.
Snapchat and
'cause
Vine is kind of what
it
changed it.
skews younger,
Yeah,
and,
Snapchat and
and
Vine.
Snapchat really
I
matters.
say Vine,
like the
man.
stats.
Vine was a time.
Snapchat and Vine were the ones that kind of brought
Yeah.
video to the forefront. Snapchat because it's
And
a
then
way for
Instagram
kids to
added it.
communicate and the messages to erase after they communicated.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was a way for anonymity within their personal space, if you
Exactly.
will. And I think it's and all these other platforms, they borrow from each other. When one does something really well, the other ones mimic it and they find a way to incorporate what they got going on. Hence, YouTube stories and Instagram reels are a
Yeah,
lot
the
like
stories.
TikTok
Yeah,
posts,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
and the way that these programs and these platforms are being used now, they're all trying to one up each other. I just got an email for Amazon Music, Amazon Prime selling me health insurance. How long do you think it'll be before TikTok offers
Facts,
health insurance?
facts,
How
facts,
long do you think
facts.
it'll be before Meta offers
health insurance?
Because Meta isn't a pharmaceutical company. Meta is a company with money, and it takes money to hire doctors. If pharmaceutical companies were the only ones that hire doctors, then how do we find the doctor?
I'm
We
not
gotta go
wearing
to
them
pharma.
now.
We gotta go to
Right.
you know.
I'm not wearing them now, but what time for my Meta glasses? Those are the dopest things I ever purchased.
Yes,
I
bro.
literally
I've
can
seen those
film
everywhere.
This right here,
Yes.
hands free. I can take a picture. I didn't wear them today.
You gotta bring them. You gotta bring them for one of our episodes
And
so
they're
we can do like a
Ray-Bans, aren't
review.
they?
And they're Ray-Bans, I
Yeah.
heard. Yeah.
I was in full daddy duty today. I had to take the baby to babysitter and the other baby to school, and I left my whole book bag with everything in it in the garage. My wife called me like, "What the hell you got going on today?" Nothing.
I used to go crazy with the Snapchat glasses.
I did too.
And I still have them. I still love my Snapchat glasses. Shout out to Mrs. Claus for hooking me up on Christmas
time
for
for
those.
Mrs. Claus. What time for my Mrs. Claus?
But you know what?
Bye.
Listen,
Humbug.
January 6th is still not too far. So if anybody watching this wanted to gift us all our own Ray-Ban Facebook sunglasses that we could test, that would
Fire!
be, yeah,
Do it!
January 6th is only
Do
like
it!
a few days away.
It's only
so,
$2.99 plus tax.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's small. Listen, it's a tax write-off. It's a business expense. Buy it for the cheat code and say you gave it to us, and whatever we
Yeah.
gotta do. Cheat code.
Cheetah Kodai.
Merry Christmas. Bye.
Happy holidays,
Bye, humbug.
you filthy animals. Get a hoodie.
Get a hoodie.